Guys, it's great to meet with you today, and I've been going around town and asking folks some questions. This is election season, so it's the time for people to tell us a little bit about what's on their minds. It's not just the time for that. I mean, that time should be 24/7 all the time, right? But I would love to hear from you. If there's a couple things about your city that you've chosen, that you love, that you would like to change, to make it a better place to live, what would it be? Who wants to start? You go ahead.
Go first. I would probably try and make the city more of a target place for people who are from outside of the city, because at the moment I find that if we want to do activities and stuff, we will leave Cambridge. So I might earn money in Cambridge, but then I take the money out of Cambridge.
Do you feel bad about that?
Now that I'm thinking about it, yes.
Yeah.
Because, and I suppose when I thought about it before, yeah, because it would be nice to be able to work in Cambridge and keep money in Cambridge, which would then help Cambridge to be more self-sufficient. And at the same time, bring in people who are not from Cambridge, make Cambridge an attractive place for people from outside to come into Cambridge, give them a purpose for coming into Cambridge that's not necessarily arts and crafts kind of thing.
What's a couple of things that's missing? What are the one or two things that you think are missing?
Some fun things to do in Cambridge that are not necessarily on Hespeler Road.
Okay.
some stuff that's maybe going towards, is it Branchton?
On the south side?
Going a bit further out,
Right.
on the edge, and it would be nice to have a big store at this end of that end of Cambridge, rather than having to leave Galt and go all the way up to Walmart at the other end.
Right.
Because all those years it's okay, it's a little bit more pricey and so on. So, yeah, it would be good to have just more things, more choice, in terms of, rather than having to go to one end of the city, have something that's at my end.
When you say more fun, are you thinking something along the lines of recreation? Or are you thinking
recreation for sure? I know I love to go to Florida as well, and they've got these go-karts that go up in the air. Yeah, so
we don't have that.
No, not at all. But I mean, for young people as well,
right?
I mean, there are tracks that are outside, but then there's also tracks that are inside. I know young people would love to be able to go go-karting.
You were pretty young yourself, but you have young people at home. How old are they?
7 and 19.
7 and 19?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a wide range.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
But something for young people, even the young people that I work with, they're 13 years old, a lot of them.
In your job?
Yeah.
Okay.
And although they live in Kitchener, it would be good if they could come to Cambridge, because Cambridge was a place that was going to be fun, and have activities. I remember when I first moved to Cambridge, myself and my wife said, "Look at Hespeler Road. It reminds us of International Drive." So I'm not saying we're gonna, make Disney in Cambridge, but it could be a bit more attractive, a bit more glitzy, a bit more fun, a bit more
upscale, modern, current. Yeah.
At the same time as I would rather also not have to go outside of Cambridge to work.
No, I hear that.
Because then
you're not the only guy who feels that way.
Yeah.
I've heard it a number of times. What's on your mind?
Basically, we lived here for 14 years, in the 80s and the 90s, and we moved back just a couple of years ago. So we have seen some change, but and I think it's better as far as the buildings closed downtown, the businesses, and we were around when there was a Zellers and there was a Woolco and an Eaton's that was the draw downtown.
Sure.
And after that, of course, businesses move elsewhere. I've noticed an improvement, but I don't know if there could be a tax incentive for a few years when a business is just getting going to get more businesses downtown. And even the ones that are empty, I don't know if there could be a bylaw. I was driving around just when Natalie asked me to pop in here today, and so I drove around to make sure I was talking about what I was really looking at. And there's so many businesses, and they're all boarded up, plywood up, signed up, just marked up. There should be some consistency there so that it looks good even when they're empty, especially for the businesses beside them. That must be a disadvantage for sure to have someone with plywood on their window next door. So that could, I think, would be an easy fix.
Yeah.
The tax thing might be tougher, but I've had several people since a few days I've known I was going to do this, and even my son and daughter-in-law, they just up on the hill here in Salisbury, they walk downtown a lot with their little one, and just the paper and the litter around, if that could be cleaned up more often. And I'm involved with a lot of volunteer work, even the bridges downtown and different things with Rotary, and even something community. If there isn't enough money in the budget to have Public Works cleaning it up on a regular basis,
Right.
it could just be a volunteer committee.
Yeah.
Just say once a week or once 2 weeks on a certain day, certain time, show up, whoever will sponsor vests and that sort of thing, and you get a little pick-me-up rod, and away you go, and you meet new people, and you feel like you're part of the community.
Well, you're active in a service club, so you kind of know that.
You fall into that.
You understand that mentality and
But,
appreciate it,
yeah.
having been.
And I think
needed
people
it
who've
already.
never been involved with any service club, when they do it the first time, they say, hey, I meet new people, I'm fixing up my own city, so I think that would be an easy fix for making it cleaner type of thing.
That's awesome.
But I really am proud of Galt. I've always lived in Galt.
Yeah.
Nothing against Preston or Hespeler.
Sure.
We've always lived in Galt, and between the churches and the bridges and the festivals downtown. But I agree with Gary, is if there was more for kids, and that's what my daughter-in-law said, more for kids downtown. Even if they just blocked off a street a couple times in the summer, the way they do for the music festivals. But all it was just kid stuff. It would bring the parents downtown. Obviously, they're going to spend money. And then Dixon Park, I don't think is utilized enough for kids. If there could be something there on a regular basis for kids to do. I don't know what they're going to do with a couple of the schools that are in the area that are closing, but if those can be tied to community events, that would be a big deal for having people come downtown and obviously enjoying the city, but spending some disposable income and obviously making the city vibrant.
Here's the supplementary question. So, young families, what's the number one priority? Is it parks? Is it recreation facilities? Is there some one thing that you would talk about as the biggest priority? I know it's hard to nail that down.
I think from what I'm hearing from, again, my daughter-in-law and just young people that I hang out with, is the utilization of the parks. We do have parks.
So the parks are there.
There's Riverside and Preston, there's Dixon Park here, but utilizing them more than just baseball at night type of thing. If there was something during the day that, jumping castles or just booths set up there where people.
So it's a more active, fresher use of the space that's
Exactly.
already been set aside. So we know what the use is, but we're not doing enough with it. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Is that, for me, I would say my biggest priority is work-home-life balance.
Yeah.
So not having to travel so far to go to work,
Right.
which means that I have more energy when I'm home with my family.
Yeah. I can
But it
understand
also means that I'm home more. So if I could work in Cambridge, that's perfect for me. Because even if I finish at 5, even if I finish work at 5 o'clock, by 5:15 I'm home, and I'm able to interact with my family very well. I mean, I've got a 7-year-old, so that only really gives me a 2.5 hour window before it's bedtime for him.
Do you see the public investment in infrastructure as key to business redevelopment?
Yes.
You're
For
saying-
sure.
Absolutely.
You have to give and take, that's for sure.
Okay, well, that's awesome, guys. Thank you.